Hello， 大家好，我们上线喽。不好意思，就迟到了几分钟。但是我们一下就开始，那大家可以找一个舒服的角落，然后倒自己喜欢的格兰冠。那今天有跟我们要同步品饮的朋友们，也可以准备好自己的酒，但是要就是不要喝太快，这样子不要一下子就把全部喝完，这样子就没酒可以讨论了。来，所以我们一下就开始，那大家可以先打个招呼，然后我们今天有 Zoltan the Glen Grant Ambassador Asia 亚洲的那个品牌大使 Zoltan, I've been asked, I wanted to ask you, your name is so epic.
Thank you.
You know, 他的名字 Zoltan 就很猛，有没有？第一次 first time meeting a Zoltan in real life. You gotta tell me, are you descendant from famous wizards? and something like that.
Me through life, something because of the name, you say, wow, okay,
Zoltan, yeah.
I think it's actually a change. So,
a Turkish name.
From the empire, Sultan. So because
yeah.
Almost 300 years. So there is lots of different similarities with cultures. So yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Zoltan 的这个名字是这个东欧的Turkey 土耳其，对，土耳其来的名字，蛮厉害的。那个林桑好 ，Milton 好，蔡兄好 ，Gordy 好 ，Ziv 好，大家好。大家就先打电话，然后先留言，不好意思，先直接留言打招呼，不是打电话。那我们一下就开始，大家可以先坐一坐，休息一下。我这边也要分享后台要做一些东西，处理的东西，所以大家可以先打个招呼，然后跟那个妮大打招呼啊，或是 Darren 啊，或是 Zoltan 啊，然后我们一下就会开始，可以听听音乐。大家星期六都在做什么啊？都好吗？现在是刚开喝还是已经喝一整天了？大家分享一下。哦，这么会说话，各位帅哥美女，晚上好，谢谢。哦 ，Sunny 你在喝酒，你一整天都在喝吗
What are you smelling, Nida?
What?
Say again?
Sorry.
What is in your glass?
Oh, number one.
Yeah, our number one is the what is this? It's the Arboralis. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Arboralis.
Arboralis.
Means light in the tree.
It means what is it?
Light within the trees.
Light within the trees.
Yes.
哦 ，OK， 就是什么？是这个森林中的阳光，是这样子翻译可以吗？Arborealis， 那我们今天第一款也是就是它了嘛，对不对？对。
So we have a podcast in the actual dictionary, and we have the biggest. Our creator, the major, he had a super big passion to collect different plants and bring back everything to Scotland. And now we have the biggest in Scotland. And the 150th anniversary which is last year. We created Arborealis. Cherry finish. You have a little bit of cherry there.
Okay. You said it was the biggest orchard?
Biggest orchard, yes. So it's 20 acres orchard, basically.
Gotcha. 好，有人说回音很大，你们那边有回音的问题吗？
我讲话回音很大吗？
你没有。
我这边是有一点回音啊。
是哦。
它好像森林的地方可以调整。
嗯。来调整一下，这样子有好一点吗，观众朋友们？
好像回音来自于 Zoltan 啊 ，Zoltan I think your echo is quite strong.
My echo is quite strong. I can hear echo
No.
Oh, now it's much better.
Yeah, now
That's better.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay.
Did you do anything with it?
回音是因为你们全部同时在开麦。
Maybe, yeah. All right. 没有了，好多了。OK 啊，因为好像是那个有一个 settings 的部分。OK， 大家听听音乐一下。大家酒都可以先倒好，那我等一下这个酒单找出来一下，给大家分享。好，那第一款我们就是我们的格兰冠的清雪 Arborealis 森林中的阳光，好美的一个名词哦 Arborealis。然后它是 it's probably Gaelic, right? Arborealis, is that Gaelic or what is that?
It's actually Latin. It's coming from a Latin word. It actually means light within the trees. Yes, it's
okay. Latin, okay. 拉丁语 ，OK， 很好。好，那我们就先用这个，先倒这一支吧。那个妮大跟 Darren 你们也有嘛？对，我们来先喝这一支，然后我们先边喝这支边讨论，然后我们也自我介绍一下。有人说妮大好美，谢谢。那我嘞，我都不美吗？好，那我们先自我介绍一下吧。那大家如果第一次收看的话，我是那个台中威士忌同好会的会长。然后呢，我们这边就会有 办一些线上啤酒会啊，然后我们台中有一个私人会所叫做威风阁，那我就是威风哥，然后我这边就是 Zoltan， 好，然后那 Zoltan， why don't you introduce yourself？ Zoltan 他现在人在新加坡，然后他是亚洲区块的品牌大使，然后他呢也是土耳其人。对 do your friends just call you Zoltan, or do you go by Z or something, or like a nickname? Or
actually, everybody from the States, they call me Z. It's easier.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say, like Z.
Yeah. But in Asia, I'm Zoltan. So everybody likes to pronounce that a little bit exaggerating it as well. Like amplifying the Zoltan. Like
Zoltan. 所以有些朋友他也会就是叫他 Z， 如果没有办法说 Zoltan 的话，就可以叫他 Z。So tell us your story there. Just a quick introduction, Zoltan.
Yeah, so thank you so much for inviting. It's actually the first time. So thank you so much. I'm really honored and appreciated to be here. So as you said, my name is Zoltan, and I'm originally from Hungary. I lived in London.
Hungary, okay.
I lived in all over the place. I lived in London for 12 years. I lived 3 years in Barcelona, in Spain, and now in Hong Kong for 7. And I started as a brand ambassador. We opened a bar actually here. That's how we started. We opened Honey in Hong Kong. I was the bar manager there. I was behind the bar for most of my life, right? And then
所以这个时候还有很多丰富的这个酒吧的经验 so a lot of bar experience, right? And I made a mistake because you said your name is from Turkey. Is that right?
It is. I mean, it has a Turkish origin.
Okay. So, but you're not from Turkey. You're from Hungary. Okay. So I made a mistake. 我刚跟大家说他是土耳其，但是他是匈牙利人，但是他的名字是
匈牙利。
对，匈牙利，对，他的名字是土耳其的，来自土耳其，但是他自己个人是匈牙利。Okay, continue.
Yeah, so I was most of my life, as I said, behind the bar until Campari actually found me to be a Hong Kong brand ambassador for full portfolio. 57 brands, 57 different brands, so it was quite a challenge. Yeah. So we have Wild Turkey, we have Appleton Estate, we have Campari, Aperol, they're just the big ones, Cinzano. So it was quite a challenge to be an expert in 57 brands,
Yeah.
And
you are.
became the whole Asia brand ambassador after 1 year.
所以这个 Campari 集团就是旗下面也有很多，他说有57种不同的产品，然后那个野火鸡也是其中之一。So you talk about Glen Grant and Wild Turkey all over the place, and all 57 brands.
Basically, since last year, my focus is on brown spirits. So I put
棕色烈酒
my time to brown spirits and 10%, so Campari and Aperol. It's booming, it's booming. You don't
Yeah.
It's okay, it goes.
大家应该有喝过，就是那个 Campari 的那个利口酒，对不对？那其实 Campari 跟 Aperol 我们就是有在喝调酒的都知道说是非常非常经典的。那个 Darren 跟妮大他们也是在经营酒吧的部分，所以他们应该也对这个品牌蛮熟悉的。Yeah, go ahead, Zoltan.
Yeah. So now the biggest challenge, with brown spirit, there's a competition because for Aperol and Campari there is no competition. It's very unique.
Yeah.
But for single malts in Taiwan, which is the biggest market in the world, like it's something to strategize and think about, right? So
yeah. You sell, what is it? What is it you're selling? What is this? What brand is this you're talking about?
I mean, Glen Grant, Wild Turkey. We have Rums, Appleton Estate. We have a cognac is coming up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All the brown spirits, which is tend to have a little bit older crowd of drinkers, you know. I'm not talking about Taiwan now. You know, Taiwan is it's a different story. But in general in Asia, to understand Glen Grant, to understand, you have to be a little bit on the whiskey fan side, right? So we are trying to enter with a not well-known brand in Asia just yet. It's very well-known in Europe.
Somebody, you can also see the people making comments over here. Somebody says they used grapefruit juice with Campari and soda water to make a cocktail. Yep. Excellent.
It's actually there's quite a nice story around this, basically, because in Hungary, where I grew up, my dad had the first video disco. So basically it was like a nightclub, but it was still communism in that time, you know? So it was still a
Your dad was a club owner in communist Hungary.
He was a club owner. And well, in that time, you know, video disco with VHS cassettes, you know, like put it in. I'm pretty sure half the people in here don't know what VHS is, you know? It's
他刚刚说他爸在这个那个匈牙利还是共产党的状况下，然后经营了一个算是就有点像 KTV 那样子的概念，有没有？是不是？他是用那个什么影片，然后去播放那些音乐，因为毕竟是应该没有 DJ 或什么东西，然后就直接去播那些那些 KTV 的东西，然后就经营这样子一个夜店，是不是？哇，好酷哦
！Yeah, and we, you know, all the Western products like Campari, you know, and all that, it was basically illegal. You couldn't do it. You know, it was only from the East, because it was Soviet Union. And we used to go.
金巴利那时候在匈牙利，他说是违法的，不能拥有的东西。
Yeah, and we used to go to Italy, and I had to pinch my sister on the border, like so she started to cry, and we started to fight. My dad was like, "Okay, go, do it." And then on the border they were like, "Just go, you can go." So we could bring back Campari in a trunk.
That's funny.
And we were selling it, right? So when Campari actually
就是有点在私酿的意思嘛，对不对？就是私酿，就是
走私吧，这是走私哎。
对，走私啊，对，走私酒，对 ，like bootlegging. You guys are bootleggers, awesome.
We were the bootleggers, yeah. Actually, I remember when my mom was drinking, you know, during in the morning, she was drinking the red orange juice, and I was drinking the yellow orange. And I never understood that, you know, why I cannot buy the red orange juice. I like the color better. And she was like, "This is for adults, okay?" That's why Campari and grapefruit juice, orange juice, it works very well. So thanks for the comment.
Yeah.
It's actually quite nice.
小欧，你刚刚那个问题让他回忆到他就是他在那边走私酒的这个过程。他说那时候他在那个要过关的时候，他说他爸就会叫他去捏他的。妹，is it younger sister or older sister? Your younger sister. Okay, 他的妹妹，然后他妹妹就会哭，跟他吵架，然后那些警察就会让他说啊，你过，然后但是他后面就是包了一大堆金巴利这样子。哇 ，so it's such an awesome story. But yeah, let's introduce our other guests here on the show today. And we're gonna, Darren just disappeared. Okay, so Darren 不见了，所以那就轮到你吧，妮大。
好 ，Hello， 大家好，我是妮大。那我现在是有一个 Whisky Bar 在台北，然后大部分是 OB 的款项，像其实我们家的调酒也有用 Glen Grant 的。那我们这一季的调酒酒单，我们就是用很多不同品牌的威士忌。那主要是想要让大家，就算是喝调酒，我也可以尝试品尝出来不同威士忌的特性这样子。例如说像 Glen Grant， 我们是用 Glen Grant 10年，然后跟那个百香果，然后还有 Marigold。那以香气啊，因为我觉得 Glen Grant 的10年，它算是一个酒体还蛮轻盈，然后喝起来香气跟香气很充足，然后比较甜口的酒。那我们觉得说，跟百香果那种酸酸甜甜的口感很配，然后上面再配上 Marigold 那个就是鼻子上面的香气，自己是觉得还不错。对。
所以那个妮大，大家刚刚如果没有听清楚的话，就是他在那边有进一个酒吧叫做 Sneak Peek。那 Sneak Peek 有一个中文名字吗？还是就叫做 Sneak Peek？
没有我们就叫 Sneak
Peek。
对
，Sneak Peek 就是偷看的意思。
对，我们之所以取这个名字，就是因为刚才说我们想要跟大家一起体验威士忌的世界，就是比较就是刚开始进来威士忌这个世界，然后我们这边有很多单杯的品饮啊，或者是就是调酒的部分也都是使用威士忌。那就是在你还不太确定说你到底喜欢威士忌的品相之前，你先让
有点想要在偷偷看看一下这样子的那种感觉哦，对。
之前我们原本说中文说取个中文名字，然后我们就说叫偷窥或窥看。然后他说不行，这个名字听起来就是很不吉利，什么窥看，听起来就是要赔钱。所以后来好吧，那就 Sneak Peek 好了。对，
所以叫做 Sneak Peek， 但现在好像也还是不行，就是也因为状况，那现在是7月12号、7月13号，那时候你们13号你们会有一些就是开始，
我们说它延期，就是双北好像都是延到7月26号，所以就是不管是酒吧或餐厅什么都不能开，就是
对，他们跟那个对中央政府不一样对。OK， 好，那 Darren， 那换轮到你吧。Darren 他其实也是新加坡人，然后刚好在我们这个台中这边开了一个酒吧，叫做 Vender。那 Darren 跟 Zoltan 之前也是有认识 ，Zoltan and you guys go all the way back, Darren was helping
way back, almost to Hungary.
Back to Hungary, Darren was helping you sneak in those Campari bottles into communist Hungary back then, wasn't he?
I think we first met in Hong Kong. I think that was
OK， 在香港认识的，对，所以这算是一个就是老朋友相聚的一个场合。好，那 Darren， 那来分享一下说你的这个 Vender 啊，然后你来台湾的这个过程啊，来我们分享一下你的故事 ，please。或者是就冻在那边，不要动。
I think he just froze.
不要动。Darren。
又在断线，有断线吗？
又回来了。你刚就
不好意思
，frozen 在那边不动。来，
我就先介绍一下 Vender Vender 的话找了一个图案那我们的这个是我们的大门，就是一个贩卖机的门
好酷。
对我们这边比较主打为调酒跟新加坡跟马来西亚料理，所以我们有肉骨茶，我们有咸蛋炸鸡之类的很多新加坡的食物。那相对调酒我们会比较偏向香料跟植物方面。在台中这里，
我有去过。
之前，
你还有去过？
我有去过。
有去过吗？
我记得你们还有那个辣螃蟹的一个那个。
对，辣椒螃蟹。
还有辣椒螃蟹哇。
对，很荣幸，谢谢你妮大。对然后之所以会过来台湾，是因为我非常喜欢台湾，然后而且也非常喜欢台湾人。对喜欢台湾人到一个境界，我老婆也是台湾人。我觉得台湾人很友善很亲切然后喜欢这个国家
那新加坡人呢？
新加坡人我也是喜欢你别挖洞给我跳好吗 ，Alex？
也喜欢 ，OK。好，那 Darren 他今天也是会特别准备一款经典调酒，然后我们到时候会让 Darren 来示范一下，我们可以看 Darren shaking it, right?
Darren shaking it.
Darren's gonna shake it like Darren's dance grooves, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. You know Darren's dance grooves?
What? Darren's dance grooves? I saw it behind the bar, yes.
但是 Darren 你好像还是卡住了，你是不是可以那个视讯关掉，然后再开，关掉再开这样子？
没有，因为我已经在切 WiFi， 还有在卡住吗？
对，你现在是卡住的状态。
反正我看到你们是很顺的状态哦，你等我一下。
对啊，你在卡住，还是你先下线，然后再上来，或是你再开再关一次。然后我们就开始先评。
等我一下，我再下线。好，我先下线，然后我再重新接网。
So let's talk about this one, Zoltan. Glen Grant Amaryllis 这个森林中的阳光。那它是 it's a sherry finished, correct?
Yes. So basically the liquid
过桶雪里过桶酒，对
，is super gold, as you can see. It's matured in hand-selected casks. So our master distiller Dennis Malcolm released this for the 180th anniversary of the distillery opening. So this is more on the traditional side of whiskey, but with a modern twist. So basically, because of the trend of the sherry, it's actually not a new trend, honestly. It's been going on for a while now, So, but it's compared to the 180 years, it's a new twist, right? So we want to create something for not really for the beginners, but as an entry level of whiskey on our portfolio, but with something which is really, really interesting for long-term whiskey drinkers as well. So, yeah, I'll talk about the.
这款算是一个比较入门的酒款，有没有？40%，然后它是有这个过雪莉桶的，那大家可以喝一下，然后跟我们分享一下，说这个酒给你的这些味道啊、香气啊是什么？那个妮大要不要跟我们分享一下？你觉得这一款酒怎么样？
我觉得它这个虽然有过雪莉桶，可是从香味来说，我觉得很活泼啦。我刚开始闻的时候，我甚至觉得有一点热带的感觉。我觉得刚开始闻的时候。等它味道就是散一点的时候，会有那种香蕉的味道，我自己就觉得还蛮讨喜的，不会觉得很厚重，喝起来其实也不会。然后大概到中段的时候，就是那个 malty 的味道会出来，最后确实是有一点那种雪莉的苦味在里面。
对，这个 kiss of sherry, it's obviously still predominantly bourbon, right? So
you are correct, Nida. You are correct. Yes. So basically, it's about 5-6 years. We don't know actually, but the master distiller knows. 5-6 years and about 6 months in a sherry cask, sherry finish.
大概6个月过雪莉桶6个月，对。有人说 don't tell anybody. Secret 是秘密。All right, Sonny says Darren's back. Do you know Sonny, Darren?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, very nice.
Oh, much better internet, yeah. Hey.
Fanta, it's a little Fanta.
A lot better.
A little fruity like Fanta, huh?
So what actually you can feel here is like if you see the color, it's bright gold, and we don't put any caramel in our whiskeys.
所以它没有任何的焦糖色素，所以它这个颜色是非常天然的。
Yeah. So the color is super bright and gold,
黄金。
Yeah. In Scotch whiskey, you allowed to add caramel for coloring, right? So I always tend to a little bit riding this wave because it's not always the darker is the better, right? And many people associate the darker whiskeys at a more quality and more aged. This is actually not applicable in Scotch whiskey. In bourbon, on the other hand, yes. In bourbon, it is a different story. It's a very strict category. In Scotch whiskey, this is actually allowed. So how you can see it is like when you swing it around your glass, and how it drops from the glass, the slower and the more down. It's actually that's how you can see it. So basically, you can see that this is because there's no additional flavorings can be added, like with rum, for example. It's purely coming from actual barrel. So
我觉得它是一个非常纯的 it's very it's got a very kind of pure clean profile, and I think that's like the Glen Grant style, right?
this is the DNA of
it's
Glen
all
Grant.
over the website too. So when we looked at the website,所以格兰冠它就是一个非常就是一个干净就是清新舒服，有没有水果？主要波本调的一个苏威嘛，那这个算是一个比较特殊的酒款，因为他们是有过雪莉桶的，那他们一般不会这样子做，所以这支算还蛮不错的。那这支也是算是我们说入门嘛，好像也才几百块钱就可以入手，对，所以这个算是一个非常非常 CP 值高的东西。
Yeah.So thank you, Alex, because you nailed it. So basically, this is the DNA of Glen Grant. So when you smell it, it's very floral, it's very fruity. In here, you have a lot of dry raisins, honeysuckle, and you get quite a few of the oaky notes as well, because it is an aged whiskey. But what we do differently than any other distilleries is what you can see behind you. Actually, these tall stills were groundbreaking in that time, because we realized that the copper, what is made of, is actually add flavor inside the whiskey. So the major, who was the creator of the new age Glen Grant, he realized this and he made it taller. And he put a purifier, which I can show you, is a purifier in the end, which is condensating all the distillate. So most distilleries, they're thinking about 50% of the actual liquid what comes out, and 50% it goes into the whiskey. We're taking 8. So it's a big difference. So it's more expensive, but our liquid is.
Did you say it takes 8%? What? You say 50 and 8%?
Yeah, so most distilleries, they're doing around 50% of the actual liquid goes into the whiskey, right? Because they're distilling really
the hard cut.
Us, we're doing 8 because it always drops back, and it's just not coming. It's just not coming out because we're taking the lightest, the purest, and the lightest liquid. Yeah.
So your hard cut is only 8%.
8% of the hard cut, yes.
Okay, gotcha. 所以其实看大家可以看到说，我这后面没有格兰冠的这些蒸馏器，他们其实算是还蛮大的，对不对？所以他刚刚 Zoltan 就有在强调说，它就是还蛮高啊，蛮大的，然后所以它是能够蒸馏出来的这个酒体是非常干净的。那他说，一般酒厂的话，他们取酒精或许取40-50%，那他说他们格兰冠这边的取酒精的部分只有8%。8%，8%。那我们刚刚喝到这款呢，就刚刚有一个人有我们的史蛋朋友，我觉得还蛮经典的形容说中华豆花水果口味的味道。中华豆花水果口味的味道，大家有没有吃过？大家来确认，来说一下，说是不是有尝到这个风味？然后我们这个叶兄闻起来偏蛮偏波本的，对，非常格兰冠算是还蛮经典波本的。然后刚刚有一个朋友说这个芬达汽水 Fanta 就是也算是水果调了。OK， 好 ，So let's move on to the next one, the second one.Let's
do that.
那我现在拿这个，因为他们好像最近也是改酒标，那大家看到我们的这些广告跟一些图片应该给我看到说那个新酒标的样子。但是我这个算是我的这个比较经典上一款。那大家如果是在酒庄要找这支酒的话，他就找这个 Glen Grant 的名字，但是那个酒标是会有点不一样。Do you have the new label or do you have the old label?
I have the new label. So
can you show us the label?
Yeah, I have the new label.It's basically it's between us again, okay? So
yeah, between us and the
I
World Wide
love,
Web.
I love the old label. The old label is super nice, honestly. The only problem we had
他比较喜欢酒标，那个旧的酒标。
when you put behind the bar, you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It just blend in, you know. And you know, there is many different. I'm not gonna name any brands now, but my boss would kill me. But there are some brands which is next to us, you know, like Baldini, for example, like big white, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's just you put it in, you know, is that whiskey. So we were fighting, and Hankuan and me, and we were like, guys, you know, we have a beautiful label and a beautiful brand. Nobody can see it. So we decided to have the label a little bit more boom to your face, you know, and a little bit more, still keeping the elegant Glen Grant style, but
旧的酒标跟新的酒标的这个造型就是真的不一样，对。那他们就是说，像这样子的话，其实这也是一个重点，我觉得还蛮重要。就是说，这种他们这在国外嘛，有没有？你的酒放在酒吧后面那边上百支。大家有没有看得到你的这支酒？有没有？所以这个算是还蛮重要的，对。那我这边有一个朋友问说，想请教大使格兰冠的发酵这个时数是多长？A friend asks, how long is Glen Grant fermenting for?
Fermenting around 72 hours.
What's that?
Around 72 hours.
72小时算是还蛮长的，对，算是还蛮长的。正常的时间应该都是48到50几个小时这样子，对。所以就是也是它的水果调， so longer fermentations usually equate to more fruitiness, more esters, you know, things like that.
Yes. So
发酵久一点就是这些植树比较多，
Plus, what we are doing differently is, you know, these days, like most of the companies and distilleries, they're using these big stainless steel fermentation tanks, right? So it's easy to clean. It's just more practical, right? But what we're using is an old school Oregon pine wood fermenter. So it's kind of like a sour mash, right? With bourbon. So every single time when we put a new mash in, it's impossible to clean the wood. So those bacteria are basically affecting it, right? So it's just a beautiful natural fermentation whenever the whole thing starts. We don't have to, you know, like kickstart the whole thing. It starts by itself. Obviously, we're adding yeast, yes. But it's almost a natural fermentation. It's like we are trying to go in that side.
而且格兰冠他们的这个发酵槽也是用木头的，而不是不锈钢的，所以这个也是给他们一个不一样的风味的一个点。Let's drink Glen Grant 10. Let's drink.
So Glen Grant 10.
Get our drink on.
It's our. It was always available, okay? So Glen Grant 10 was the one which actually almost built the company, right? Built Glen Grant. Is the natural essence of roads. So we would like to make sure that all this nature, you know, and everything comes into your glass. So it's when you walk through this barley field, which is a single malt it's coming from, right? It has to be malted barley. Then when you smell it, you straight away you can feel this orchard fruits. If you close your eyes, you know this is what we wanted to create and then capture, like almost 200 years ago, right? When you're walking through this beautiful nature, so
他就说想请大家就是或者闭着眼睛，然后感觉到说你们在一个这个果园里面这样子，like you're in the orchard, right? You're there, you know, there in your imagination, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Glen Grant has a lot of orchards. They have their own orchard on the Glen Grant
27 acres.
grounds.
27 acres, yes. So it is pretty big. It is pretty big. And when you have a sip, it's pretty a complex whiskey. You know, it's a little bit on the delicate side, but once you really close your eyes and once you really try to swing it in your mouth a little bit, and then you follow it, it has a very long finish for a 10-year-old, and it's super complex. So every single time when you sip, you will feel something different tingling in the back of your tongue. So it's not an entry level whiskey. It's young whiskey, younger, you know, but it's definitely not an entry level. So a lot of big whiskey drinkers and whiskey writers, they talk about it, that this is something which is many people can enjoy, and the big whiskey drinkers can enjoy as well. So everybody goes back to back and Glen Grant, and they always come back to it, right?
那 Zoltan 就跟我们分享说，这一款酒呢，是可以是给入门的朋友们喝，也是可以给一些老饕们喝。所以我觉得他就说，他这个就是适合不同的人，都可以喝，大家都可以喝，喝开心就好。那我们来，那个 Darren 你来分享一下你喝这款酒，给你的这个气味跟这个风味有感受到什么？
我觉得这杯酒对吗？让我觉得有一个对，有听到我吗？
听到了，对。
网络还是有点差嘛。
还可以。
好，我觉得这个10年，让我对于威士忌的那个10年的那个看法有所改观的，因为没有想过10年会有那么深层的那种层次感在里面哦。就我喝过的蛮几个10年，那这个算是一个最有很多层次感的一个10年在让我品尝过。
Yeah, Darren says it's pretty complex and mature, and for something that he felt as a 10-year wouldn't have. But
yeah, thank you, Darren. Yeah, it's really good observation. So exactly this is what we wanted. It's a very complex whiskey, and let me get you something. 1 second.
那个倪大也来分享一下吧。你那边看起来好像很热，是不是？
你说我那边吗？
对啊。
We were fighting for this. Next time I'm gonna be in Taiwan. Number one.
You make?
I had this deal. In 1 year, I'm gonna speak Mandarin. I have 1 year, a little bit, and I'm
1
gonna
年内他就会学中文了。要1年内要把中文学好。
And I'm gonna bring you the new make, which I've been fighting for years to get it, because this is our thing. This is our DNA. This is the 8%.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, this is secret. We can't give you. And I was like, guys, this is the talking point. This is what makes Glen Grant. And the 10 years, if you age Glen Grant for super long, whiskey tend to break down, So you can't age a bad whiskey for 20 years because it's gonna break. Glen Grant, he's coming out with a 60-year-old, and he still has this DNA in it. So 10 years, and now we're gonna try the 12-year after, and you will compare. So please leave a little bit in your glass and compare the 2-year difference. Same thing, 2-year difference. So
you can ship Han Kwan a sample.
I think he has.
There you go, Han Kwan send me a sample. 他那个就是新酒，然后他说他到时候就会带来台湾，跟我们大家朋友们分享。对，然后但是他就说那个就是他们的 DNA 嘛，对不对？他们那个8%的这个萃取出来的这个酒心，那就是他们的酒厂精神的最好的代表。那不管是陈年、10年，或是他们现在也出了一些60年的格兰冠，那个仍然还是存在这个风味。好，那倪大，我刚刚说你那边看起来好像很热的感觉，是不是？
还好，就还好。
所以有开冷气吗？感觉好像你是在流汗。
有。没有啦，我今天的妆是走比较有光泽感的，所以就是你知道脸上会亮亮的那种感觉。是哦，
好酷哦。
是因为很热啦。
不好意思，我看不。好，那你来跟我分享说你这个对10年的想法。
上次我觉得，有一些威士忌大家是喝风味，然后我觉得有些威士忌是喝那个 texture， 在舌头上面的质地的变化。那 像是我们当初店里面那款，就是我刚才说百香果那款调酒，我们之所以会选格兰冠10年，其中一部分原因也是，我觉得格兰冠10年它是 body 来说相对来说比较 light 一点。那可是它在舌头上面那个质地的变化，我觉得是很明显。它大概到中间的时候，你舌头上面会有那种涩涩的单宁感，甚至有点像你在喝茶的那种感觉。然后因为它对最后那个就是我觉得它最后整体来说喝起来很清爽，然后这个单宁回甘的感觉跟这个苦味，就会让我觉得有一种在喝绿茶的感觉。我觉得它在舌头上面的变化是非常讨喜，质地上面的变化。
哦。对，我觉得他真的是还蛮，我觉得就像 Darren 刚刚说，他算是还蛮成熟的。我觉得，尤其是我们从 Arborealis 喝到10年，我觉得那个差别还蛮大的，有没有？你从 Arborealis to 10-year, you can taste the maturity. You know that 10-year maturity, it's a really big difference actually. 我觉得还那个从 Arborealis 就算是喝到10年，就还蛮那明显的就可以喝到那个成年的那样子的过程。那刚刚有朋友这个我们说有人 somebody says 10 years old tastes like Skittles.
Tastes like sorry?
Skittles,
yeah. Okay, I like that. I like Skittles. Fruity, definitely.
It is fruity. So it is very fruity. It's a very apple, very badly like it's a younger category, but you are totally good, Nida. Thank you so much. You can feel the maturity straight away.
Let's move on to number 12 or the 12-year. 我们来喝一下这个12年吧，我们大家慢慢喝上去，从12年，然后15年，然后18年。
So 12-year-olds. By the way, my favorite.
Somebody says here 10 years a little bit kind of like there's a lot of pear. I get that. 水梨我觉得有。
Straight away, pear.
Yeah, that's a pear. 蜂蜜蛋糕。
It's
honey cake.
Yeah, it's richer. It's a little bit warm. It's a bit warmer than the actual 10-year-old. It's only 2 years difference. So it's been designed for that. To compare, like to see that how the Glen Grant DNA, it's without any changes. It's not a blend, okay? It's not a blended whiskey. It's not something it's a single malt, the same DNA, 2 years older. And you can see that how everything is basically just evolution, right? So this is the older brother of the 10-year-old, and it's designed to showcase the 2-year difference. It's very apple pie, but the pear notes are still there. So if you see the color, it's actually not much difference between the 10-year-old. So the ex-bourbon barrels, it's not giving that much color inside the whiskey. And again, can't stress this enough. The older is not always the darker stuff.
我觉得12年一入口就感觉比较更温顺。比10年更温顺，10年会比较活泼，然后12年就成熟那么多，就是成熟那么一点点这样子，多比较成熟2年就感觉成熟蛮多的。大家觉得12年怎么样？I feel like with Zoltan, I feel like with the 10-year here, we have a lot more vibrancy, a lot more youth, and then I think just even with the 2-year difference, you get a lot more maturity, I think, and you're also getting a lot more, just kind of like smoothness, I guess you could say,
It does.
It's much more rounded. It's much more rounded.
Exactly, it's a lot rounded. It's as I mentioned before, this is only 2 years, and then you can see it straight away. The more roundness, and then when it comes together, the whiskey, how the whiskey is aging, right? So that's why this business is beautiful, because it's really, really interesting that how actually the whiskey is alive, like in those barrels, and we won't many awards with this, by the way. So very recently we did a gold in the IWCS. Twice actually we did the tasting gold, we did the awards. So the 12-year-old is banging these days, you know. It's we are winning golds and golds and golds after gold. So and then we're gonna try the 18 after. But the 12-year-old, before it was 10 actually. It's very weird because the 10 was one which is like 7 years in a row was just like rocking it in the single malt world. And now the 12-year-old is coming in. So the reason probably is because more aged stuff coming out. You know, more and more people are actually experiencing with more aged things, and I think the 12-year-old is the entry level of the aged whiskeys. You know, so when you tell somebody like a whiskey drinker that's a 10-year-old, sometimes they're just like, oh wow, you know, that's very old, you know, until they try it. You know, so it's we have this big battle with a 10-year-old, you know, to try it, please. You know, it's you will be surprised. And now we're coming with a 12, which is actually more acceptable for a very big single malt enthusiasts, right?
12年就是他们的经典款，然后就是他们12年就是得了非常非常多的奖。那其实这个就是一个非常，我觉得大家都可以认识，然后去喝的一款酒，对不对？我觉得你一喝，它就是你就喝整瓶，应该都没感，就可以一直喝下去吧，对，非常非常非常舒服，对不对？但是这就是他们的调，他们的酒厂的精神，就是好喝顺口，12年，Do you want to move to the 15? Let's move to the 15.
Let's move to the 15.
And we can watch Darren shake it. Shake it.
So, by the way, the 10-year-old.
If you want to shake, you can shake it too, Zoltan, if you want.
Zoltan can shake it.
I could. I'm in my kitchen. I have bad equipment. I'm not sure I have ice. So I just came out from my 21 day of quarantine, by the way. So I had to be in quarantine for 21 days because I came back from Hungary, in fact.
Oh, wow.
21 days. So I'm still acclimatizing, you know, like I need to get some ice and stuff. But
yeah, that's how you grow your beard.
That's how you grow your beard, exactly. That's the result.
他说从匈牙利回那个新加坡，他们那边新加坡要隔离21天了哦，哇，实在是也是蛮猛的。So you done with quarantine now or no? Are you still in quarantine?
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
You're done. Okay.
21 days. So,
okay. Oh man, yeah, 21 days. That's intense.
And it is intense. So yeah. Moving to the 15.
Yeah.
10-year-olds is really good in highballs. So if you would like to try with soda water, you know, and a bit of hint of lemon, it's super nice. The 12-year-old is more on the sipping side, you know, it's more of the enjoying and experiencing it. And now we're going to the big boy, okay? So the 15-year-old is a very fruity DNA again, you know, but it's released at a 50% ABV. So this is basically a batch strength, okay? This is when it coming out.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't get to the 15 yet. I'm sorry. The 15 should be the last one, right? I think we should be drinking the 18. Right?
Okay. We can drink the 18.
Yeah, because you just reminded me. I put the 15 at the end. 第4号，不好意思，第4号是那个18年，我们要先喝18年，因为第5号是15年，因为15年它是50%，所以我把它留到最后面，因为它算是比较有没有酒精度高一点的一个酒款。所以我们刚刚是从 Aberrales 5年份、10年、12年，然后我们现在要喝的是18年，因为如果我们喝50%的，然后再喝18年的，我怕大家就是没有感觉的，对。所以不好意思，大家这个第4号 你看第4号，4号我们来喝18年，从12年喝18年，不好意思。那最后一款 ，the last one， so we're gonna Darren, you're gonna have to hold off on your shaking 。我们的第4款 ，yeah, going from 12 to 18， 从12年跳到18年那里去了。Okay.
So the 18-year-old is a masterpiece. You know, this is a sheer elegance. You know, it's like it's refined in a bottle. Like it's something which is the biggest whiskey enthusiasts would appreciate and like. So very recently we had some seminars with whiskey writers as well. You know, and big whiskey big whiskey knowledgeable guys like you guys. You know, so and everybody was like, this is something which is. It's not an everyday whiskey, you know. It's more of a occasion because it's an 18-year-old, you know. It's especially in Glen Grant, it's starting to be a big number, and it's perfectly balanced, you know. It's layers of complexity and the details are never ending. So one whiskey writer said very recently that he loves the Glen Grant 18 because every single time he tries it, it tastes different. You know, he did something else.
他说18年，你就每次喝都有不一样的体验。对，我们来喝18年。18年 ，Zoltan 就说它就是一个非常优雅、美丽的一款酒，对不对？
Oh yeah, this is good. It's a lot sweeter, huh? It's a lot sweeter. It's a bit stronger as well. So before we had 40%, this is 43. So you can feel it a little bit more on the burning in your chest, basically, which is a good thing. I always say that if it burns in your mouth, then it's gonna have a headache in the morning. If it burns in your chest, you'll be fine if you drink lots of water. Okay.
So 这个格兰冠18年43%， 43%. 2019 Whiskey of the Year by the Whiskey. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. It's third best whiskey in the world in 2019. Is that correct?
Yep. Yep, indeed. So it's very true to any Scotch whiskey lovers, single malt Scotch whiskey lovers, you know. So we're talking about single malts and we're talking about Speyside. So we are coming from Speyside and we're coming from Rhodes. So Speyside is a style of whiskey, right? So Speyside is always in a more delicate side on the we are not like LA, right? We are not like many whiskeys and all that. So it's always Speyside is where the most distillery is located actually, but the lighter styles of whiskey is coming from there. So I think been many distilleries there, checked everything. I have a few brands which I prefer. I like. Glen Grant is always the one on the top. It's number one. It's like it's there. And
you have to say that. They pay you. They pay you to say that though.
No, yeah, they pay me to say that. But every single time, no, you're right. They pay me to say that. But every single time I go there, it's like when you go to Wild Turkey, you know, when you go to Wild Turkey distillery, and it's the oldest.
I'm a big Wild Turkey fan.
So basically, it's like, oh, thank you. Yeah. So basically, it's like what Jimmy Russell is putting there together, what Dennis Malcolm is putting it together. 65 years in the industry, guys.
Yeah.
The guy is 60 years in the 60 years he's producing whiskey. So that's something which is not many people doing, you know.
Let me catch up everybody on this. 所以他刚刚就说这个格兰冠嘛，反正就是一个非常经典的，有没有几百年历史，然后就是非常经典的 Speyside 的一个调。那他就说，他刚刚就说那个 Speyside， 他格兰冠就是他心目中一个算是就排名最前面的威士忌。然后我就跟他说，你当然要这样说，因为有没有他们是给你薪水的，对。但是也没有办法否认，它的确就是一个我觉得它非常经典的格兰冠。我觉得 Speyside 来说，算是一个非常非常经典中的经典，有没有？你喝它就可以感觉到那种 Speyside 那样子的风味，有没有？而且它就是一个舒服好喝的东西，对。好，那刚刚我们这个陈兄这边说12年拼有感觉到杏仁坚果奶油风味，我觉得它对的确是有蛮奶油的一个香气的，蛮奶油的风味，对。对，然后我们给大家看一下说我们这个18年是第4号，我们刚从 Aberrale 10号、12、10，然后到18，刚不好意思，然后就15，因为它是50%，然后就是最强烈的，我们留到最后面一个完美的结尾，然后到时候请 Darren 来示范一个这个调酒的部分。好，那妮大来分享一下我们18年，这是今天喝到最高年份的一款酒，你觉得如何？
我觉得它的风味表现非常细致，从刚开始闻起来啊，还有刚才听起来，它会有一种那种花蜜，比较花香的感觉。我自己觉得有一点那种桂花的感觉。然后接下来喝的时候会有那种熟凤梨，像有时候那种烤凤梨的那种感觉。
Yeah, barbecue, pineapple.
但是我觉得这个很特别的是，它有一个那个 date， 枣子。我觉得有点像红枣的味道在最后，因为有一点
dates, yeah.
对，这个我觉得超妙的。
Darren， 你觉得18年？
我觉得反而18年失去了那个果香的味道，反而
是比较木质，
对，木质调。现在喝到来，我觉得我比较喜欢18年哦。
是哦。
前面那些 Aberrale 跟10年，我觉得可能稍微果香味重一点，反正18年变成我最喜欢的现在。
对，我觉得前面他们就是会比较水果，然后活泼啦，的确。但是有没有你18年就是有一种有没有非常就是成熟，然后呢那个木质调也非常的漂亮，就是而且层次更丰富这样子，对。
对。
来大家分享一下那个18年大家觉得如何？而且就像大家说的，像那种奶油啊，然后这些刚刚妮大说的那个 pineapple 啊，香草啊，这都是非常就是标准的一些波本桶的这个调。来 Gordy， 我们来，他说这个18年甘而不甜，甘而不咸，甘而不腻，不好意思，中后段有香料胡椒味，对，尾韵甜中带苦，又有回甘。对，甜而不腻，对，真的。它入口会比较，就是它入口就是你可以品尝到那个甜度，但是它中后端的时候就会变化成木质啊，然后其他一些比较成熟一点的香气，you know? Zoltan, you understood all that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So, no worries. You are right, guys. Actually, you know, I can pick the fruits. So, thank you, because it's really dates. You can feel quite a bit of pineapple. So it's malty caramel. You know, it's because its age is coming from it's full bourbon barrels, right? So dried raisins, you know, all these dried fruits, a lot more from the vanilla. So these are the extra flavors what the bourbon barrel gives. So that's why it's super interesting, because why people like sherry these days, you know, because it's fruity, because it's a little bit easier to understand. It's something different, yes. Bourbon is always going to give you, when you age it more and more, they're going to go to the darker flavors. So definitely, it's a lot of nuts, and you know the finish is way longer, you know. But you can just have it first, and you can finish it's straight, is in your mouth. So this whiskey basically is a premium trade up for like enthusiasts, you know. So
Somebody asked, is the 18-year all bourbon casks?
It is.
OK，
100%.
18年是全部都是波本。对，我们10年、12年 10, 12, 18 all bourbon casks with exception, and then Aberralis is only one that's sherry.
No, actually, it's actually the Aberralis is the one which is
Sherry.
rented more in sherry cask. The 10 and the 12 is a mix as well of bourbon and sherry. Bourbon and sherry, yeah.
所以 Aberralis 10年跟12年都有就是波本跟雪莉，然后18年是就是全部都是波本 ，100% bourbon cask on the 18 year, right?
100%. So don't get confused, because when we're talking about like single malt whiskey, if you're talking about single cask or single barrel, that means it comes from one barrel, right? It's one barrel bottle, which is about like 200 bottles if you're talking about bourbon, and if around 500 bottles when we're talking about sherry cask, right? So it's about that. If
somebody asked here, is the 18-year all first fill or refill or combination?
It is a combination. Exactly. Thank you for the question, because exactly what I just wanted to talk about is that that these are still blends. You know, these are still blends between different casks.
Yeah.
So it's not a blend of whiskeys. It's not a blend of different whiskeys. It's a blend of different casks. So it's still a single malt because it's coming from one malt. It's coming from one distillery, but it's still a blend. So you still can play around with the different casks, right? So it still needs a master blender who's gonna put the things together. You know, if you call it marrying together, right?
Yeah, vatting, marrying,
marrying.
所以这个叶兄就是问说，这个18年的波本是 first fill 是初次波本还是refill 还是都有？那其实都有。
Sorry, we fill the barrel 3 times max. After that, we throw them away. So basically, we don't throw them away. We're selling it to different distilleries. So we are losing about £1 million every year because of this. So said that we don't, after three times refill, you know, it's not good anymore. So we don't want it anymore. So
wait, so you will use you'll use first fill and second fill, and then the third fill you won't use. Is that what you're saying?
Third fill we don't use anymore. Yeah.
Okay. So it's only first fill and second fill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So bourbon first fill, second fill. Yeah. That's the age of the barrel.
所以这个格兰冠他们坚持就是只有用就是初次跟2次，然后的这个波本桶，然后第3次就不会再用。对，所以就是非常的标准波本的调，对，就是也是其中的一个原因。对，All right, well, here we go. The special show for tonight. Darren, you're up. 所以 Darren 呢，我们这个台中这个有名的调酒师，特别为我们 special just for you, Zoltan, just for you. This is for you. Cocktail. It's called the Zoltan. This cocktail is called the Zoltan.
No way.
这个调酒就叫做 Zoltan.
对 ，It's called the Amazing.
The amazing, yeah, amazing. Zoltan. 好，那我去
准备一下。
You make me blushing, you know. You make me blushing. I don't deserve it.
好，那大家也可以，就是我们也可以同时就是来试我们最后一款第15年的，就第5，然后是15年的这个酒款。OK， 那这支也是雪莉。This is also sherry and bourbon, correct?
Actually, no. So this one is is a first. These are first fill. So this is first fill ex bourbon casks.
First fill ex bourbon casks. 所以这是初次波本，所以这是他们的这个批次的初次波本，15年50%。
Only.
所以这 yeah. So this is probably going to be, the Glen Grant bourbon bomb, right?
It's the Glen Grant bourbon bomb. Yeah, exactly as you said, Alex. So basically, it's like it's a classic Glen Grant with a 50% ABV. It's a non-chill filtered, So this is because we wanted to have the intensify, like very exaggerated and the fuller texture. We wanted to give you the thing what Glen Grant is without any interaction. First fill, 15 years, a little bit longer, and 50% on alcohol, boom in your face, So this is something which is very interesting.
我喝到这一款，这个算是他们的高酒精度的这个初次波本，我其实就想到我们这个朋友就是 Milton， 我们的这个社团的干部，他刚刚就有分享说15年这个有这个咸味，咸奶油 salted butter， 对，咸奶油。
So Dennis Malcolm thinks, our master distiller thinks that he created this because he thinks that whiskey and single malt reaches its peak at 15 years. That's what his experience within 60 years has taught him, that 15 years is the one which is that's after that is not declining or anything, it's just changing into something else, right? Because it's ex-bourbon, it's something you will see with the 18 and you compare it. And by the way, guys, you are the only one in Asia who is able to actually experience the 15 years. Nobody has it. Nobody has it yet. So
why? How come?
Yeah, nobody has it yet. So basically, this is something which is for tonight, So
okay.
I don't have it.
Okay. Wait, so the 15 years, it's travel retail only or something, or
exclusive? It's coming into the market though. It's coming in, so we will have it widely available. It's quite a small batch as well, So it's allocation only. It won't be available everywhere.
OK， 所以大家今天真的是很幸福，因为这支酒款其实它之前都只是就是这个机场才可以买到的，对，免税店才可以买到的。然后像 Zoltan 他自己都没有办法买到这一款。那今天就是特别感谢我们这个台湾的这 Campari 的这些朋友们，然后跟我们分享这支15年他们的算是原酒了。他们这边写 batch strength， 就算是虽然不是完全是原酒，但是他们是50%。然后这个就是初次波本，其实这个喝了还蛮惊艳的。对，那妮大来我们分享一下这支对你来说如何？
我自己
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah,
I actually do quite like it. So because like for this one, it has the flavor and it also has the texture. The flavor wise, you can there's a kind of like a meaty filling at the end. So yes, like somebody mentioned about there's a salty note. So I actually feel like it smells like salty peanuts. That's probably because there's like nutty a little bit and the salt.
You say salty peanuts? Peanuts 花生吗？OK，
盐炒花生的那种。
哦，有一点呢。
然后中间还就是后来也会有肉感，就是喝起来会有肉感，我觉得很有趣。
你这样，他们说咸奶油，其实让我感觉到说那种比较那种算是焦糖的那种爆米花。
Salted caramel, you mean?
Yeah, salted caramel, like salted caramel popcorn.
Yeah,
popcorn. The salted caramel popcorn, because you're getting those like kind of like buttery, bourbony, like kind of like corn.
Oh my God, guys! You guys are very good in getting the flavor profiles, huh? So
yeah. 我觉得就是有点像那种，就是那种。
Did I send you the flavors? Like if I check, it's exactly that. So it's exactly
就有点像那种，就是咸爆米花，但是又甜，然后那你又可以喝到它的那种，他们说那种 DNA 就是波本的那种 DNA， 就是玉米的那个调，有没有？所以这个更明显的可以喝到那些香气。 跟这些热带水果的一些风味，非常非常好。其实它就非常适合新加坡嘛，新加坡就是热带水果的地方，对不对？
很适合很适合。
好，那个 Darren 来跟我们分享一下这支就是50%的这个初次波本桶的这个算是比较高酒精浓度的这个威士忌，给你一个什么样的灵感？
其实今天想呈现的这个调酒，对吗？是原本我是想要做出另外一款调酒的，可是就在昨天碰巧的时候，我买了一瓶的那个 cold brew 的咖啡。
是哦。
然后刚刚好就这样去搭配一下 cold brew 跟15年的格兰冠，
绝配。
对，因为
是哦，那我赶快跑去冰箱拿一下我的 cold brew。
因为它有比较浓郁的那个香草味，浓郁的香草味，然后有一些比较果香的味道，我觉得很搭咖啡。
好像哦，有点像那种就是咸奶油，然后加咖啡，感觉好像也不错哎。
对。
大家这边留言也可以分享一下，跟我们分享一下，说15年给你们这个感觉是什么？好，那我们来示范一下，是不是要来 shake 一下？有 shake 吗？
今天可能就没有 shake 啊，今天
就搅拌而已。就只有搅拌而已。
对今天我觉得就可能比较15年，对吗？它是一个很层次感很多的一个威士忌。我觉得如果假设拿来做 shaking 或什么之类的，真的很浪费。
那太浪费了。OK，
对，所以今天只是让大家可以回去尝试一下这款调酒基本上就是格兰冠的威士忌，然后看你要倒多少在里面。
你这样子算是30、20猫、30猫？
这个我算是没有，这个是15猫。
15猫 ，OK， 好。
对，然后再加咖啡。
好 ，cold brew 的咖啡。
对，而且不同的咖啡会带出不同的味道。
对，没错，对，真的。那你那个是你知道那个咖啡是哪里的咖啡吗？
我这个是 Arabic 掺那个Arabic 的那个豆子。
OK， Arabica。
对。
So, you guys know what is why is the non-chill filtered? It's like it's something which is interesting because lots of people says
非冷凝过滤
cosmetic reasons, right? Like basically because you want on the shelf a clean bottle of whiskey. You don't want something cloudy, right? That is exactly what the whole idea behind non-chill or chill filtering, right? And you don't want a milky tasting vodka, right? Like a milky looking vodka. You don't want that. You want something which is clean. You want something with a whiskey as well. So, in your opinion, now I'm asking a question. Do you think that it's giving anything to the taste or no? Or it's just purely for the experience, just to have a look. It's interesting because when I put my fish soup, like my chicken soup in the fridge, and it forms like a fat in the top in the morning, and I can take it off, and it's becoming clean. It does affect the taste, It does. It's not the same, It's the fat is missing so it's not the same. So if you ask any master distillers, they would say that no, it's cosmetic reasons. But there is a little bit of a but, So it's I think, in my opinion, it does affect a tiny bit of the taste as well. It's not better or worse. It's different, So what do you guys think about this? It's always
let's have Darren finish his cocktail.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah. 所以好，那你冰块放进去，然后那个大概45 ml 的酒进去 ，like a shot and a half of Glen Grant 15, some ice. Okay, he's gonna use Arabica, cold brew coffee, Arabica, because he's saying that we're not gonna shake it today because he says because it's such a refined whiskey. He wants to just enjoy it without the dilution. I think.
Sounds good.
Okay.
就可能加，我觉得如果假设，因为我这边呢有2种喝法，一种是直接就是威士忌跟咖啡，那多一点的话，要比较清爽的话，我就会添加那个通灵水在里面。
OK。
对。
所以通灵水再加咖啡，然后再加威士忌哦。
对，
所以因为那时候我也跟 Darren 就是说，就是一些简单，就是大家就可以在家里就直接调的一些一款调酒，就大家就可以直接去试试看调起来。那其实坦白说，你也不用一定要用有没有格兰冠15年，如果你手边没有15年，你也可以去用一些其他类似。假设说是波本调的然后50%的也可以去用其他的威士忌去代替，也都可以，对不对？好，那个 Darren 你来说那个比例是多少？你大概是45 ml 的这个威士忌嘛，对不对？然后你再加多少咖啡进去？
咖啡其实要看本人哦。我在这里
看本人
加了30 ml 的，对，在这有加了30 ml 的咖啡了。
OK， 然后呢，最后一部分就是再加个大概30 ml 的那个气泡水。
对。
但是你是用通灵水还是用气泡水？
我用通灵水在里
面。通灵水是看起来好像是 Fever Tree。
不是 ，It's Imperial。
Imperial，It's Imperial。OK， 好。所以通灵水也有带着一点甜度嘛，对不对？
对啊，然后有带一点那种。比较气泡感在里面我觉得蛮不错的。
好像不错诶，夏天的一个调酒好像比较不错。
对啊。
妮大，其实你们那边酒吧也有一款那个格兰冠，你刚刚好像之前有分享过嘛，对不对？
对，我们那个
你再提醒我们一下。
因为我今天买不到那个，我今天原本要去附近的超市买百香果，然后没有买到百香果。对，我们那款是有百香果，然后用格兰冠10年，然后还有加一点那个 Marigold 下去 shake 的。因为它是一个比较酸甜调性的调酒，所以那个时候我们做法是就是 shake。那因为我们觉得格兰冠10年它整体的味道来说是非常轻盈清爽的，然后配百香果这种酸酸甜甜的感觉它就会增加一点那个舌头上面质调就是质地会多一点点变化。然后跟酸甜口感的水果其实也都很搭，就是说像是百香果，你也可以把它换成芒果或其他这种比较酸甜的水果也都可以。
所以我觉得直接就是去那个饮料店，然后点个这个百香绿，然后再加点格兰冠，有可能也
可以的，
好像就可以了，是不是？直接加进去。
加百香果、芒果都还蛮合适的。
So Zoltan, Nita actually at her bar, she has a cocktail that has Glen Grant 10 year with a passion fruit, type cocktail and marigold, marigold. So,
nice.
Yeah.
It's a shaky drink. It's very good. It's very fragrant.
So. My thinking was, okay, well then you can just go and get like a passion fruit, tea, like a bubble tea or something, and just a little splash of Glen Grant in there, right? What do you think? You approve?
Are you in Taipei?
Yes, I'm in
Taipei. Where is your bar? Taichung as well? Sorry?
I'm in Taichung. Yeah, she's in Taipei.
Okay.
Darren's in Taichung.
Yeah.
所以我们现在今天有分享就是。Yeah, next time when you come here, you have to check out her bar. 那我们今天就是也有2种喝法嘛，就是妮达那边说就是百香果配格兰冠，然后Darren 这边就是用咖啡跟这个格兰冠15年，对，然后再加一点通灵水。那其实我觉得大家也可以试试看说，如果家里没有格兰冠15年的话，也可以用一些其他的一些威士忌波本调的威士忌去兑那个咖啡跟那个通灵水这样子喝法，非常非常简单 ，super easy。OK， 对，然后。对，然后那个我这边有朋友，我们的干部有在提醒我这边我们的这个台中威士忌会的一个会员，今天他的生日 ，OK， Simon 哥他的生日 ，it's one of our friends' birthday in the club. So Zoltan, if you want to sing happy birthday, we can sing happy birthday. You want to sing it for him?
Sing it?
Yeah, sing happy birthday.
You will have to sing.
Happy birthday to you. A little bit. Okay, 3哥生日快乐，3哥 Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
生日快乐。
那大家还有什么其他问题吗？我们可以就是这个部分，我这边朋友也说，这个冰箱刚好有这个冰滴咖啡加上15年，奶油风味非常明显，像是咖啡上有一层 cream。对，我觉得好像就是这样子的一个概念对啊，立刻就有人去做实验了，太棒了，太棒了。我其实还蛮喜欢这支的，因为其实我觉得我们就是比较常喝威士忌的朋友们，或是比较喜欢喝那种比较重口味的，我觉得这应该是你们的菜。有15年50%初次波本 ，This is like you know bourbon bomb, 50%. First fill bourbon, Glen Grant style. This is kind of like the, this is for the bourbon drinkers, bourbon lovers, bourbon cask lovers. 那这一款其实已经到台湾 This is already in Taiwan right now, currently.
We have to check. It is in Taiwan, yes.
Yeah.
I am not sure it's available for.
It is.
So it is.
Yeah. So
it is in Taiwan. Yeah.
那个汉宽他因为他之前有跟我提到一个这个团购的方案，所以他这个其实有在那个单上面，那团购的这个方案单子上面，这个清单上面，所以到时候大家也可以期待，如果有想要追15年这个限量款，就是其他地方都买不到，只有台湾买得到 ，Zoltan 也买不到的这个酒款，有没有？到时候可以就是追踪我们的那个群组里面，我们到时候会再发一些相关的这个信息。OK， 好，那大家还有什么其他的问题吗？有没有想要问这个我们这个品牌大使啊？然后或者是帮那个Simon哥庆生啊，说一个生日快乐啊，或是想要上线跟我们那个唱个生日快乐吗？还是什么？还是大家有没有什么问题想要问妮大或是 Darren 啊，或是 Zoltan 啊，对不对？难得有 Zoltan 这个亚洲品牌大使。Darren 又不见了。
Which one was your favorite?
Yeah, it's a good question. 那大家来分享一下这5款里面大家最喜欢哪一款？来，我们来先妮大问一下妮大说，这5款里面 which is your favorite?
Oh, this is very tough.
Very tough.
I think I can't decide between the 18 years and actually I really do like 10 years.
Oh, okay.
I really like the texture of 10 years. It's very different from like other 10 years on the market because like usually when we talk about 10 years, we tend to think, it's very immature, it's like really spirit forward and it doesn't have a lot of taste or texture. But I really, really do like Glen Grant 10. So yeah, that has always been on my top. And 18 is just like really delicate. Like the flavor and the texture, the profiling. It's sweet but not so sweet at the same time. Yeah, just like the flavor profile.
Very refined.
Thank you.
Very refined. Beautifully refined. Okay. Very diplomatic answer. Thank you.
Very good.
She's wanna pick one. She wants to stay diplomatic, you know. 来 ，Darren， 你今天晚上喝就是这5款，哪个是你最喜欢的？然后大家也可以留言分享一下，今天晚上最喜欢的哪一款，来分享一下。
我觉得目前喝的我最喜欢的还是18年。
还是18年哦。对，
还是18年，对啊。
为什么？
因为我觉得我们撇除层次感以外，因为我一直以来都比较偏向木质调跟有回甘的一些威士忌，所以18年是我的选项，就刚刚好，就很合我的胃口。对啊，我觉得威士忌是个人主观的。
个人主观，
对啊。
所以你下次生日就开18年给大家喝，
一定可以。
然后18年也拉酒嘴，好不好？来，耶！18年拉酒嘴 ，Yeah, he's gonna do a mouth pours of the 18 year on his birthday for everybody that goes to the
Very
bar.
good, very good. Lay back.
Yeah. 好，那我们布点这边18年一票，然后那个叶兄说10年在普饮款中感觉超水准，真的，我觉得10年真的是，我觉得应该今天算是比较颠覆大家那种对10年的一款的想法嘛，对不对？因为我们市面上第一其实也蛮少看到10年的，对，那我们如果是把它归类算是在年轻酒款里面这样子的一个一群里面的话，我觉得它算是真的是还蛮成熟的，然后你喝起来真的是不会感觉说像 Darren 他刚我们之前请他分享的时候，他就直接说有没有就颠覆他对10年的一个想法 ，you know it's it's actually it goes it's beyond people's expectations of what a 10-year should be, you know, and then somebody says, the 10-year really is a kind of gold standard, when it comes to, other 10 years. Because we expect an 18-year to be refined and good and whatnot, right? But then that 10 years, is really a great bottling there. But also, but also a 10-year, the minimum is a 10-year, but it could have some 18-year or like 15-year in there, but the minimum is a 10-year, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly. That's why you have to put in the bottle. No, because most of the 10 years, like some, you would expect that it's quite an alcohol bang in your face, right? Because it's not that age, and you don't have that. You don't have it here, so that's why it's this is important, It is 72% on alcohol. Next time we try together. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. Somebody here says they're voting for the Aberralis.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They like that sherry finish.
Yeah.
So we got somebody loves somebody loves each one. 18-year, 10-year, 12-year NAS. Okay, who loves the 15-year?
Awesome.
I think I really enjoy all of them. First and foremost, I want to be diplomatic too, like Nita. But the 10-year really surprised me. One, and 18 was very refined. And I think at the end there for the 15-year at 50%, I think it really just, I think it's really great way to end the tasting, It's
Isn't the cherry on the cake, right? It's the cherry on the cake which you just pick, and thank you. Appreciate your feedback.
那个他们说冰淇淋上面的一个樱桃，对，就是15年这一块，就是这一支有没有？蛋糕上面的樱桃。冰淇淋上面的樱桃，对，我好像应该是比较喜欢15年，真的是很难选。但是 对啊，15年，因为我算是比较喜欢那种重口味一点的东西，所以我觉得15年算是还蛮符合我的胃口的。好 ，Darren 一直在挣扎，他不想要。Darren, you're struggling， 你在挣扎，你不想要跟我们分享说你喜欢哪一款威士忌，所以你要逃避是不是？不要逃。
没有，抱歉啊，今天网络真的太差了，不知道为什么。
OK， 所以你刚刚说你最喜欢的是哪一支
？18年，今天
18年，对，18年，对，18年，然后妮大说他10年、18年。10或18年都喜欢。What's your favorite, Zoltan? 哦，你说，来，你说。
I actually like the 12. I think that's for me.
12, that's your go-to.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
12's your go-to.
Yeah. So yeah, it was the 12. I think for me, which is like very close to my taste, is the 12 because I think it has a bit more complexity. You know, the 10-year-old maybe I drank
too much.
That, you know, so that was what I did, what we did the most. And then the 12-year-old came to the market, you know, and then I was just very excited about it. And now at the moment this is what I prefer. You know, the 15 and the 18 is very occasional. You know, it's kind of occasional. You know, you wouldn't drink a 15. You can. It's just maybe to understand a little bit more. You know, so I think the 12 is the one. Like,
yeah, 15 is going to be obviously heavier. 15年当然就是比较重级一点啦，所以就是也不是说每天都可以喝，但是10年、12年应该天天喝也不会，有没有？不会腻，所以这边真的都没有人投15年一票，真的只有我一个人吗？Nobody likes 15, huh? We got somebody says 18, 10, 12, NAS. OK， 好，那今天差不多也是差不多就这样子咯。然后那大家有什么其他的问题吗？可以赶快问一下。那如果没有的话，那我们就再继续自己私底下喝吧。Zoltan, do you have any comments or any additional things to add?
Well, I just would like to thank you. You know,
yeah.
So thank the Taichu Whiskey Society. You know, like you, Alex, and thank you, Darren, and Nila. Thank you very much for joining. And guys really nailed it. You know, so it's great to speak to you when you understand whiskey. So it's something which is we actually can geek around it. So thank you so much for your time. And I know it's Saturday, so thank you. That's all. I think I'm glad. Yeah. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. And hopefully I can see what it's doing, so it's in the plan, to go to Taiwan very soon. So
we had some people here that have met you and even shared some pictures of you when you were here in Taiwan. Yeah.
Thank you.
And actually, it was this tasting was quite popular. I mean, we got samples into hands of 40-some people. And essentially this event was sold out. So people who are curious and definitely wanted to try the Glen Grant bottlings.
Very happy to hear that.
Actually, I wanted to show you this picture. I don't know. I wonder if you remember this picture of yourself and one of our friends. And I'm just gonna share.
Oh my God! Okay.
I think it's you. I think it's of you with I think it's your shirt off. I think you have your shirt off, and you're on a table or something. I can't remember now. No, you don't have your shirt on.
Hey, of course. Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
That's our friend Lin Sang. Lin Sang. Yeah, Lin Sang. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there he is. Fun times. That was last year, right? Yeah.
Fun time.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Zoltan. 然后感谢大家，然后呢，非常感谢妮大，然后非常感谢 Darren， 然后呢拨空跟我们上线，然后喝一杯，对，然后现在大家疫情期间也辛苦了，所以我们每个礼拜可以这样子一起喝一杯解闷，我觉得非常幸福，非常开心。And thank you, Zoltan, and thanks everybody, and we'll see you guys next time. Zoltan, have fun, enjoy yourself have fun in Singapore. See you there. Bye bye. Bye bye, Nina. Bye everybody. Bye.